Where you at, microfarmer?
Go!
Where you at? You ain't got stuff growing like this, no?
Go!
No. Come on, our YouTube. Danny here with Cajun Hydroponics. And let me tell you, the last 2 weeks of the greenhouse have been remarkable. We're doing a greenhouse update. It's been 2 weeks. And I had to throw a little shade over there, Mr. Homer and Micro Farmer.
Go!
He been talking his smack. He's gonna make me break out the smackdown again. You know, little John, he got his name coming. I gotta do that video. I might have scared him off. He ain't been talking as much smack as he had been earlier, but he has a lot of stuff going on with Shed Wars. So anyway, let's see what we got growing in the greenhouse right now. Bomb happy. You can see my vacuum. That's right, I don't sweep in the greenhouse, I vacuum. We got a few tomatoes really starting to set. Right now the pumps are running 3 times a day, 30 minutes a pop each. And we had a live stream yesterday. Great live stream. We started off talking about doing the okra seeds, soaking them in Clorox to help pop them and get them to start faster. And we did that, oh shoot, man, must have been for about 45 minutes. We talked about it, why, and you know, the different ins and outs of doing it. Then we kind of jumped from that into hydroponic discussion. Really interesting talk. Lions Crest Outdoors, Farmer Q, he popped on, had some questions. Mr. CB with CB's Greenhouse and Gardens popped on. You know, it really had a great, messed up and had some great information that we shared. Had a great visit, great time. Really had a good time. So if you missed it yesterday, go check it out. It's a great visit, great wind down for me. These are all, oh yeah, turn the camera on and the rooster start crowing. They got a bean on that also. These are all big beefs. All of these here are big beef tomatoes. Until you get to the back. These are Amelia Tomatoes. They are a determinate, semi-determinate variety. You could see what happens if you don't prune. The difference. Well, it might not be able to see it in the pictures. My setup I have right here is going to have to be different next year, or in the fall actually. It'll have to be different because this plastic fence stretches a lot. I have to do some modifications on that, I guess. And I got to clean my greenhouse. But yeah, man, a lot of the plants are up to 4 feet tall. Most of them have, well, the reason I'm out here this morning at 3:30 is to get the suckers pruned up. I want to do a video on my Tapner taping machine. It works well. Excuse me. And I'm trying that this year. It's I did it with the dragon fruit, used it for dragon fruit last year. Worked great with the dragon fruit, didn't break, it stretches well. So I want to share that if people are trying to grow single stem or on strings or even on fences. It does work to catch it. I had to pay for it. They have cheaper varieties now on Amazon that work well. I'm not gonna say they work the same. you'd have to make your own decision on that by reading the comments. But for the most part, you know, that taping machine does well. It helps. It's quicker than putting on tomato clips. Really, I enjoy it. I like it. Here's some of the other ones. These are Amelia's also. I have to do some work on those. My queen, she kept the tanks full. She did what she could. We've been busy the last couple weeks, between work and all that. So, I'm gonna take you to the other greenhouse. This is the other greenhouse. 2 weeks ago, about 80% of the plants in here were all cuttings that I just pulled from greenhouse number 2, and they all made it. They all looking good. In this greenhouse, I didn't have the tops for the 5-gallon buckets. I will be getting some for next season. I didn't have the tops for the buckets, so what I did was take a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. It was some used pipe. There's still a few down there. There you go. There's still a few down there. They had big holes in it already from some previous mischief I was getting in with it that didn't work out. So I drilled it and I stuck it in here. Super simple. There's enough weight the wind doesn't blow out the hoses. I have about 3 inches of the fill line sticking in the bucket, and it's working great. It's keeping, so far it's keeping the solution down far enough in the buckets to be able to stop the algae from growing. You can see there's some tomatoes on that one right there. There's a little tomato, but I'm gonna have to take that off. The root systems aren't established enough in here for the tomatoes to thrive. I want to make sure the plants are good before I do that. But if you go look at the video from 2 weeks ago, look, you see, that's a weird looking tomato plant right there. But if you go back and look and see the cuttings were small. They looked good, but they were small, and they've taken off. Good thing about the Dutch buckets, you know, you take a cutting, pull it off, cut it off on one plant, stick it in the bucket, and 99% of the time it takes off in roots. Right here, I had an extra bucket. I wanted to try something different, so I got me an eggplant. Stuck the eggplant in there. Not even sure what the ppms are recommended, the pH and none of that. I just stuck it in there, and I'm running the same thing I'm running the tomatoes. We're gonna see what happens. Lots of cleanup today. It's gonna be raining most of the day, so we'll be doing a lot of work in here. Have an update possibly tomorrow, maybe Monday, on the raised beds in the backyard. Been stressing on them a little bit. They're not doing what I'd like them to do. They're doing well, but they're not doing what I'd like them to do. It's more along the lines of the soil that I used, the application of fertilizer with the soil. Got some stuff I'll be installing to try to make it work. Anyway, this is a greenhouse. The greenhouse video, it's working well. I'm overly ecstatic about it. It's amazing. Those 3 plants right here I got from my partner Rob at Primal Cajun. Those are Campari Tomatoes. Then those 2 big plants, comme ça, are a, let's see, some big. I think there's some crosses between some 3 and 5 pound tomatoes. I don't remember the names offhand. And right here is called a Rapunzel Tomato. I picked it up. I was going back and forth because the plant was so small. I really didn't want to mess with it. but it was the only one they had, and it's a cherry type tomato that puts out supposed to 30 to 50 tomatoes on a truss. So I had to get it. I gotta give it a shot, see how it works out. If it works out, we're gonna try to keep it propagated. And there goes a car. 3:30 in the morning and the cars are passing. Where you think they coming from? The bars. Yeah, so we'll keep it propagated. If the tomatoes are good and it does put out like that, if it puts out 30 to 50 in the dirt, I'm gonna be really excited to see how much it puts out in hydroponics. I have one big beef that has 11 flowers, so it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's a long video. That's way longer than what I normally do. Kind of babbled on a little bit about some of the stuff. Got a lot of work to get done. Greenhouses aren't done, but they are going to be producing very soon. Probably in the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we will have some red tomatoes. Start getting some good weigh-ins for the shed war stuff and stuff like that. So, got some bad weather coming in again today, tomorrow, and got some work to get done. A lot of work, but South Louisiana, boy, you gotta love it. Y'all grow that. Later.